So till yesterday, like we have discussed joiner transformation, and we did a kind of a lab, and I hope like you guys might practiced the left outer join, sorry, not left, but like master outer join, detail outer join, and full outer join. So those are like almost like simple as like a normal join, but only going to be changed in your conditions is like either left, either master or detail is going to be changed. Okay, so apart from that is nothing going to change, but the results, the data results, whatever you are taking from the joiner can impact based on your type of join. Okay, so that's not going to impact anything on join condition. Now the next most important one and most confusing one, so first itself like I want to mention is a confusing one, so try to concentrate the lookups. And for the reusable transformations, yesterday we already discussed what is a reusable transformation as part of the shortcuts. But I'll definitely discuss about the shortcuts maybe like in this slide or like in this presentation or like tomorrow's presentation. But like try to understand today the concept what we are going to discuss is lookups, and which is quite confusing and it's very very important. Okay, so please try to focus on what we are discussing. Okay, with that I just entering into my class. So what exactly the lookup transformation? So don't get into the technical things whenever you are trying to learn the subject. Try to understand as a layman person what is a lookup and why we need a lookup. Let me give a simple example. Okay, so maybe you guys I don't know like whether you tried any job interviews or anything. Like for example, you selected for a company. Okay, so when you selected for a company, what will happen normally? They will take all rounds of interviews, and finally when they're satisfied, then they are going to provide you an offer letter. But before providing the offer letter, there will be a last step. That last step is background verification. Okay, so what is a background verification? So they are going to validate your experience. Is that real, or like is a genuine experience or not, is kind of thing they are going to validate. How that process will go on? Whenever you are doing background verification, is your HR is going to your old company, or is your company team is going to your old company? No, because they don't have that much of time and they don't have those kind of skills. So they don't have that kind of a process at all. That's why what they will do, they will recruit, or they will depends on other person or other team or some other company, and they will provide some details like this is the person, first name, last name, this is what SSN, and based on three details, okay, the third party consultancy, or like whatever you call them, the third party will go to your old company, okay, wherever you worked. So what's happening here, how many entities are there here? The first thing is the person or the entity which is going to recruit you. That's the first one. For example, that is a Chase Bank. Chase Bank is trying to recruit you. So Chase Bank don't have the facility or don't have the process to inquire on your earlier experience or prior experience. So what Chase Bank is doing, Chase Bank given a contract to a Krushka Tech. For example, Krushka Tech is a third party company which will do a background verification. So the second entity is Krushka Tech. But what Krushka Tech required to do a background check is Krushka Tech required the person Krishna's SSN, first name, last name, and what is the previous company name and address. So these are the details what Krushka Tech will expect from the Chase Bank to perform this kind of a background verification. Once Krushka Tech performs his background verification, and it will come with a result, okay, either this employee is really worked or not, okay, that result will be reached back to the Chase company through the Krushka Tech, the third party. So what's happening here? So the first entity is a Chase Bank, second entity is a Krushka Tech, and third entity is your old company. But from where these details, or from where this process is going on, based on a step-by-step process. Step 1, Chase Bank chooses Krushka Tech, Okay, and it will provide the details of Krishna, like Krishna last name and his SSN and old company name. Based on these details, this Krushka Tech will go to the specific company and it will get the details back. So what exactly happening? You are requesting something and you are getting something. This is what a lookup transformation will do. So what exactly the Chase Bank here? Chase Bank is the source. The source can be anything. Okay, the source can be flat file, the source can be anything. Who is the Krishka Tech here? Your lookup transformation. What exactly is doing? It's taking the input from your source, the lookup transformation taking the input from the source and looking up on the specific object, whatever your source is mentioned. For example, your old company is a TCS. So it's looking up on TCS and comparing with these details. Okay, do you have an employee with the first name Krishna and last name so and so and SSN is like XYZ and the company name is so and so. Do you have all of these details are matching or not? It's going to validate. So what lookup will do now? Okay, it's validated. It's going to take back the result whatever it's validated. Is a person is existing or not? Either yes or no. This kind of a result they are expecting from the Chase Bank, right? Because they don't have this facility, they don't have this process, they are depending on third party. Okay, now Chase Bank also wants, okay, not only like employees worked or not, they want his conduct. I mean, how he is behaved. Okay, is he having any criminal record earlier to that? Okay, all these kind of details, not only like is worked or not. On top of it, this Chase Bank is expecting how much salary he take from that company and how much time he spent in that company and how was his conduct and this company. Even these additional details also required from the TCS uh, company to Chase. So now my Krishka Tech is going to get all these details based on the results or like based on the inputs whatever it got from the Chase Bank and it will compare and it will get the results back. Now let's come into the technical world. The same thing your lookup is going to perform. How? See, this is what going to happen. So can you see my screen? Okay, great. So input value. What is input value? The employee name, first name, last name and SSN and the company name. Based on these input values, it's going to look up. When I'm saying look up means what? Where is the look? Where exactly this transformation is looking up? On the target, whatever your source is expecting. What is the source here? Chase Bank. What is the target it's expecting? From where it's expecting the details? From a TCS. Okay. So this lookup transformation, in other words, this Krushka Tech is trying to reach TCS by taking an input value whatever my source sent. Okay. By taking the input value whatever my source sent. What are those input values? First name, last name, SSN. Okay. Based on these values, it's going to this specific TCS company or lookup source. Now, what exactly it's taking from the TCS, whether he's worked or not, first thing is conduct and the salary he earned from this company. Okay, and once it got all these results, is going to take it out. Okay, it's going to take it out. But what are the conditions here? What are the input you sent? I am just matching it. Is that SSN is available over there, or is this person name is Krishna or not, or is his last name is same or not? Whatever like you send me from the source, you are going to compare those details on the lookup source. Any questions? Okay. Harika, Swapna. Okay, great. Now see how this lookup transformation looks like. If you look at this lookup transformation, so just like in a regular transformation, but like a little bit different. So coming to the ports, so it's going to have input port, output port like expression, But apart from that, it's going to have two different kind of a ports. One is lookup port and other one is return port. Okay, we'll discuss this return port in the next class, but right now try to understand what are the lookup ports. So lookup ports are the ones which are participating on your lookup. Okay, whatever is participating on your lookup, those ports will be called lookup ports. Okay, now, so this slide is saying the lookup transformation is passive, but what happened is from 9.x onwards, okay, the lookup transformation became active as well. Okay, so from 9.x onwards, this transformation became active. So earlier it used to be only passive. Okay, why? If I am passing one record, it's going to give me one record as a result. But now from 9.x onwards, if I am passing one input, it can result me in multiple outputs. Any questions? Very important, this one, because it's a new property, right? People may ask like, what kind of transformation is lookup? Either it can be a passive or it can be an active. Okay, no. What are the properties you can see in lookup? Maybe like I can discuss this by opening the real transformation instead of discussing like this. So we already discussed reusable transformation yesterday. Okay, so when you whatever the transformation you are developing, transformation developer is going to be reusable, or you can double click the transformation and make it reusable. So now we are going to perform this mapping and we are going to see how the lookup transformation will work. Okay, now let me take so what is the source here? I'm sorry. I think employee east and employee west and employee central, just to make sure. Yes. So you are going to get these sources into your source analyzer. I just want to clear everything so that it will be clear for you. Go to sources, import from file, and take all the files, employee central and employee east and employees west. Okay, these are the three files which I am supposed to take. First I will take with the employee central. Import field names from the first line. So you should get this in your mind, like what kind of load we need to do now. Anyone? What kind of load we need to do? Pardon? What kind of a load? Is it a direct load or indirect load? See, the structures are same. So why do I need to take three instances into my mapping? I can perform with one instance, okay, or one structure, because for all these three the structure is same. No need to take multiple times the same structure and no need to take multiple source qualifiers. What I am trying to do is I am trying to take only one. Does it make sense? I am calling that as employees list. Okay, now next thing is target. What is the target? Stage underscore employees. Hope I already have that. Okay, I'm creating a new mapping. M underscore stage underscore emp underscore lkp. Okay, now let's take that employees list. Now I got a source qualifier, and let's take a target stage underscore employees. Now how is my data, or like how is my structures in source and target? Are there any date fields in my target? Why exactly I need to use lookup here? What is the necessity of using lookup? So see, I have an employee ID, and here also I have an employee ID. So here I am having an employee name instead of first name and last name. So definitely I need to convert them into a single name. For that I need a expression transformation. So the first thing is employee ID, and the second one is first name and last name. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to copy, paste, and I'm giving this as a employee name. Okay, now make sure you are going to concatenate first name and last name. So you need to make sure the size also right, or the precision. Here 10 is the precision of first name, and last name precision is 22. So what could be the maximum one? 22. So instead of 22, just to be in safe side, I am giving 50, so that I can accommodate 50 characters, but maximum characters would be 10 plus 12, 22 only. Okay, even I got employee name. I'm just making this as an output port. We already did this, so that's what the reason I'm moving little bit fast. Concat first name, comma last name. Please ask me in case of any questions. Okay, next, address, city, state, zip code, country, phone number, fax number, email. See, I'm comparing from here. Okay, I'm not reading here. Gender. Now all these things are there in my target, but after that I'm getting a field called salary. Do I have salary in my source? Harika, Swapna, do I have salary in my source? But from where I need to get the salary? I don't have a salary in my source. I need to have some place where I can get this. Like, I don't have this employee information, his background history. I need to get this background histories from some other place. What is that other place? Salary flat file. Okay, in the salary flat file I have the salary details for each and every employee. So how can I get that salary then? Then I have to go for a lookup. Okay, this is a shortcut for the, or like I can say this is a kind of an icon for the lookup transformation. See, I just want to make sure you observe this property. Can you observe this property? This is what the property which will make your lookup transformation active. Okay, this is what the property which will make your lookup transformation as an active. Return all values on multiple match. For example, if you are having an employee called 101, so for the 101 he might have like a three different kind of salary structures, right? Like in January 2011 he might have something, January 2012 he might have something. Every year he might have a different salary structures. So for one employee you can have multiple records. In that scenario, if you select this, you will get 4 records, or like 6 records from 2011 to 2016. Or you want only one record. If I don't select this, you will get only one record. Which record you are going to get? The property whatever you select in your lookup transformation. We will see that. Okay. Now where is my salary? From where I need to get my salary? Harika? Pardon? Yeah, source. So what is that source name? If you look at this slide, what I'm saying, salaries.txt. Okay. So now Swapna, how can you get that salary.txt into your mapping? By using lookup. So can you see any property over here or anything?
Yeah, there is source.
Okay. So if you already have that in the source folder, then you can use the source. But I don't have that in my source folder. But if you already have in target, I can select from target. Even it's not there in target. If it's already there, a kind of a source qualifier, my source qualifier is different one, employees underscore list, not even source qualifier. But even I have an option like import. Okay. From where? Either relational table or from a flat file. I need from a flat file. Now, where is that? Salaries.txt. Fine. Here, again, same thing. The way how you will take a source, how you will import a source or how you will import a target, this is the same. There is no difference. Even for lookup also, you have to follow the same thing. Now I got a lookup. See, the same fields, employee ID, salary. Okay. Now I have a lookup transformation. Now let's open the lookup transformation. This is what a lookup transformation. Okay. Ports, input, output, lookup. See, whatever the ports are involved in your lookup, those will be marked as a lookup ports. Okay. So we'll discuss about the return port later, but right now just focus on this input, output, lookup. Okay. Now look at the properties. There are like a different kind of properties. So lookup is a kind of an ocean. So to dig into like, or like, it would take like years if you want to really look into this lookup transformation. Okay. So I'm just kidding, like it won't take like years, but like at least it will take some time for you to understand all these properties. So I'm going to brief you all these properties so that it will be easy for you to when you're doing a kind of a practice. Okay. First thing, lookup override, SQL override. Like a source qualifier transformation, you can write your own query if you are looking up on a relational object. Lookup table name. If you are really looking up on a table relational object, then you can mention here. Okay. Lookup source filter, the same like a source qualifier transformation. If you want to filter anything, you can mention that here. Lookup caching enabled. Why? The caching is a big thing on a lookup transformations. Why? Because, for example, now you are looking up on a salary.txt file. So there are like 100 records, then it's good. But what happens in the real time when you are looking up on a dimension tables or a big huge table which is having like a millions of records, so that's going to take a lot of performance issues. Okay. So why it's going to take performance issues, I'll discuss once I'm done with this one. So because I need to explain how the lookup is working first of all. Okay. Once we build this mapping, then we will see how it's going to work. Then I can discuss about the cache. Now lookup on multiple match, lookup policy on multiple match. Now this is what I was talking about earlier. So when you select that property, when you're creating a lookup transformation, okay, multiple match or like I didn't remember that exact the property name. So when you select that property, it will become active. As you didn't select the property, it will ask which value I need to get it. Uh, if a lookup transformation finds a match, for example 101 you are sending from a source, 101 is there. Okay. So instead of 6 records you are having only one record, then there is no confusion, it can get. But if you are having 6 records, then which record it's supposed to take out of 101? So for this 101 there are 6 records from your lookup source, but which record I need to take? First value or last value or report error or any value? So your wish, you can choose anything. But if you make it as an active transformation, then there is no question of this, you will get all the values. Okay. Next, what is your source type? As this is a flat file, just the source type selected as a flat file. Tracing level, again it's same, common to all transformations, what level of information you want on your logs. Next, as you are using a lookup transformation, So there will be definitely a place called cache directory where your cache files will get saved. I'll explain about this cache once just we finish this mapping. Okay. Next, persistent. Again, if you want to save your caches, okay, persistent. Anyway, like I'll come back to this cache because without discussing the cache, it's there is no value of discussing these things. Okay. Now, now you got a lookup transformation. But what else you want? I need some kind of input, right? What kind of input you can send? You can send the employee ID because I want to compare this employee ID with the employee ID in the lookup transformation. So to just to make sure to avoid the confusion, I can put in underscore employee ID means which is a input port. So in the condition what I'm trying to mention is employee ID is equal to in underscore employee ID. Okay. So what I want to return from here, salary. Okay. And age group. What is the age group? Age group. Okay. What is the logic behind the age group? The same thing whatever we did last time. Decode true. Please stop me if you have any questions. Okay. I think this one is not there. Age less than 10 or like 20, and then teenage or else old age. Okay, it will get failed because what? You already have an age. Oh, you already have an age. Okay, that makes sense. So you got age group as well. Okay, so employee salary and age group. Next what? Native language, second language, third language, position type, regional manager. Okay, position type. Where is a regional manager? Let me connect this here. Position type. Next, dealership ID. The dealership ID is over here, and dealership ID. And where is the regional manager? Regional manager, dealership manager, hire date, and date entered. Okay, so regional manager, dealership manager, date entered. Okay, now employee ID, employee ID, employee name is employee name, employee address, city, state, zip code, country, phone number, fax number, email, gender. Okay, I got all the details now. Okay, now try to think how this cache will work. Everything looks good, like you understand what is the lookup transformation, but like how internally. So when I said like the Krushka Tech is going to get the background results, what kind of questions he's going to ask them, how he's getting the details. So TCS means is not a small company. Whatever you ask, he cannot provide anything, right? So simply if you ask the things, so there should be some kind of a process, some kind of a mechanism running under this specific transition or during this specific communication. What kind of a process will go on under background verification? We need not to worry, but like what kind of a process will go on background of this lookup transformation, we need to understand. For that, try to focus. So whenever you get a record from the source, okay, assume this is what your source. Okay, so whenever you are getting a record to your specific lookup transformation, like this is your lookup transformation. So try to think this is as a lookup transformation, and there is a result is going out. Okay, so this is source, this is lookup, and this is target or next transformation, whatever it is, result I can say. Now what's happening here? What you need to concentrate here is when you are sending some input to source. So let's take our example. What is our example? Source is employee and lookup is sal.txt and target is stage underscore emp. Now what exactly is coming from my source? So what exactly I'm sending to my lookup transformation? If you look at this, what I'm sending? Swapna? What I'm sending to lookup transformation? No, I am sending employee ID. See, what I am sending means what is coming into my transformation. What is coming into my transformation?
Coming is employee ID.
Perfect. Coming is employee ID. So the input is employee ID, or you can see the ports. I means input. Input port is employee ID. Okay. Now let's go back. Harika, is that clear? Employee ID is my input. So what happening in the lookup? So in the lookup you already have employee ID. Okay, so how can you get the lookup transformation or this employee ID into your mapping? Because it is not part of your mapping, or it is not part of your sources, not part of your targets. Then where exactly is this? How can you get that? How can you get the values? You can get the structure, but like how can you get the values? Whenever you execute your mapping or your session related to this specific mapping, what's going to happen is, so initially it's only structure, employee ID, salary. Okay, but when you run the mapping, when you run the session, when the first employee ID, okay, when the first employee ID is coming as 101, and immediately it will create a cache. Okay, it will create a cache. When I'm saying cache means what? It's a temporary location, temporary area. Okay, it's a temporary area where it's going to create same kind of a structure, or same kind of a structure whatever you are looking upon. Okay, so on whatever you are looking upon, based on that it's going to create same structure along with the data. So for example, in my lookup salary.txt table, I am having three records like 10,000, 102, 20,000, and 103, 30,000. For example, this is what my file. Okay, salary.txt file, assume. Okay, this is what my salary.txt file. So the same kind of a content can be created in a cache. This is called a cache. The file will be there in its own place. Right now the file is in my desktop, but when you run this session, okay, when you run this session, informatica is going to create a cache where it's going to dump everything whatever is there in your physical location. So that's the reason when you are working on millions of records, caches are very important to maintain those 5 million records on Informatica. Okay, on Informatica they are going to maintain those 5 million record until your session completes. That's why these are most expensive thing in terms of processing. So why? Because they are maintaining on their own servers, on Informatica servers. It's not like you are maintaining on a desktop. It's coming and sitting under your Informatica in place of a cache. Is that clear? Harika, yeah. So now see how these caches will work. So when you are having that cache, where that cache is going to create, whatever the directory you are mentioning here, whatever the folder you are mentioning here, there that cache will get created. Okay, temporarily. But if you want to make it permanent, then you can make it as a persistent so that it will get created and saved. Okay. Now, data cache size. So what kind of a size it should have? So by default auto, if you want to increase, you can increase the cache. So there is a different concept called dynamic lookup cache. We'll discuss this later. So other than dynamic cache, so you are having like some more things on this cache. Anyway, like when we are discussing the dynamic lookup cache, we can discuss all these things because these are the things if you select, then only they will, and these options will be enabled. If you don't select, they will be disabled. So don't worry about this one. So we are going to discuss when we discuss about the dynamic lookup cache. But like, are you clear about the cache? When the cache is getting created, whenever the first record, whenever you start your session, when the first record coming through your lookup transformation, the cache will get created and it will try to dump all the data whatever is there on your lookup object. Okay, so there is one more property which you need to understand is sorted input. When I'm saying sorted input, it will consider like whatever the data you are putting in your cache is sorted. Okay, whatever data you are putting in your cache is sorted. But what happens if you select this sorted input but you are not sending sorted data? It's going to fail. Okay, when you are selecting sorted input means it's not going to sort the data, it's going to assume whatever the data is there in your lookup cache is sorted. If it is not sorted, then it will fail. Okay, clear? Any questions? Okay, great. Now we are going to create workflow. So yesterday we discussed another way of creating a workflow. Again, I am discussing that. So generate a workflow next. Okay, before that, I don't know whether I saved it or not. Okay, let's see like whether mapping is valid or not. It's valid. Okay, now generate workflow. So employee connection object. This is a list. So that's okay. And this is Oracle underscore target. Next. Next. Finish. Now let's go to our see workflow got created with a session. Now what you need to observe here. For the source qualifier, first thing is an indirect load. So what are the properties I need to select for this? The first thing is you need to mention a proper directory where your source file is there. So where is my source file? On my lab files. So what exactly I need to mention? Before doing this, I should have employees list where I need to mention the path. And we need to remember one more thing. So you are having flat space files. So let's make it flat underscore files because it won't accept the directory with the spaces. So let's do it. Just go one more step back and let's make it as flat files. Another program. What is used? Did I open any file or anything? So lab files is done. Just a sec. Let me revalidate. So I think I was doing on my desktop, not here, I think. Anyway, let me try here. Flat files is being used by another person or a program. Maybe. I was not using anything. Okay, let me try one more thing. What I can do is, okay, first minute of, we have an alternate thing also. That thing is like I can put all these files on my desktop. That is one other thing I can do. Anyway, that is what we are doing. Okay, let me do one thing. So let me put these flat files on my desktop. Okay, now because somewhere it's one of the file or something is getting used. I don't know, like on the process and the virtual machine, somewhere it's getting used. So I don't want to go into depth. Install that. And we already discussed, right? So when we are doing indirect load, we're supposed to mention the path. Okay, now, so just I'm closing everything, and we need the specific path and the employees underscore list we're supposed to mention on this one. So just mention these details in the mapping for the source. So till now whatever I'm doing is just I'm repeating the old steps whatever we did as part of earlier workflows. Okay, so there is nothing new. Employee list dot txt. So just make sure one more time, employees list, better you can rename and copy. Rename, copy, then mention that name, because even one letter goes wrong, then everything will go wrong. Now target, I already mentioned TGT, I'm selecting as normal. Now the new thing comes into the picture, lookup. Even lookup also you should mention in the same way. Okay, like source and target, you should mention the directory, sorry, directory. What is the directory? And the file name. What is the file name? Okay, the source file type is direct. Let me recheck whether, okay, source file type is indirect here for the source qualifier. But for the lookup also you are using same file, but here I am using direct. Okay, I am not changing any other conditions as we are not using any specific caches or anything. So by default, like whatever the cache is getting created, let's use the same cache. Okay, and even I am not sorting the data, so I didn't select the sorted input. Any questions? Swapna, Harika? Okay, now I am trying to run this. Whenever I am running, then the cache will get created. Okay, it got failed. Fine. Now let's see why it got failed. So what exactly the failure information? Execution terminated unexpectedly. Okay, let's see, like, is there any session log or anything? Yes, session log got created. Let's go to the error. There are no errors, but still it got failed. So if in this kind of scenarios, directly go end of the file or like end of the log. Okay, so start loading into the table stage underscore employees, this one. So the problem here is while loading the table it just stopped. Okay, I don't know what's happening on stage underscore employees. I need to check that. Okay, so let's see like what's going to happen. See, show user where you are underscore target. Okay, ls minus l, sorry. So stage underscore employees, the table is here. Select star from, no row selected, just to make sure I'm doing commits. If in case like sometimes the table is not in a readable state or anything, or like if it is a deadlock, so or any updates, if you forgot to do the commit, then it can go into deadlock state. But as of now, stage underscore employees, let's see like what kind of a connection it took. So let's rerun this specific one. Let's see how it's going to work now. Again it's failed. I didn't find much information on the logs. Just a sec. Sorry, there was a lot of background noise, so fine. Now this is something interesting. Start loading table stage employees. What exactly happened? Okay, I'll try to do one thing. So I'm taking this off just to do some kind of a background check from my end, just to understand the problem. I'm taking this off so that I can recreate this. So if you do any kind of a changes on mapping, just refresh your session. Now TGT is there, and everything is good. Let's run this. Just I'm trying to find out where it is the root cause. Again failed, so there is no issue with the lookup. Okay, let's see like why it got failed again. If it is this because of the same issue, then some issue is on target table itself. So let's see whether we created the table properly or not. So that's only going to be an issue now. But let me get it back, the lookup whatever I created earlier. So import from flat file. Salary I'm going to map, and I'm going to mention a proper name to this, LKP sal. Hey, sorry for this rework. I'm trying to find out. Control S and refresh the mapping. Something got failed. So this is valid. Maybe we didn't provide the lookup information here. That's why it's showing not valid. Okay. So now I just got it back. Now we'll try to recreate that specific table. So even I don't know like why it got created like that. Let me drop the table and I will recreate it. Okay. Make sure you are in right schema. Okay. Drop table, stage implies cascade constraints. I'm dropping the table dropped. I'm trying to recreate it. What you are going to do if in the real time, in the real project, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to approach your DBA. Okay, because there is some issue in this table itself. This is what the table. Okay, so now I created this table. I'm trying to re-import the table into my targets. I'm not sure what is the issue, so just I'm trying to re-import this. See, when you're trying to re-import, it will ask because that specific structure is already there. Okay, what exactly you want to do? This table is already there. Do you want to rename, or do you want to replace, or do you want to skip, or do you want to compare? So let's do compare. I want to check, are there any changes compared to my last structure? No, everything looks good. Keywords, indexes. So from informatica perspective, there are no changes. So just I'm putting like replace everything, just replace. Okay, save it. Whenever you import new structures, so please make sure your connections information didn't get changed, and try to refresh. Okay, still it's showing normal. Fine. Now let's give it a try. Great. Okay, so can anyone try this specific one on your missions? I just want to check because the problem is coming while loading into the table. The next alternative thing what I can do is like I can enter some data into this table, but like I need to put proper data into this. Maybe there is an issue like higher date and date entered are showing date fields here, but why these are showing strings here? Can you see this? Why these are showing as strings? Right, yeah, that is kind of a confusing now. Employees stg underscore employees. Let's look into the target structure string. Import from database, reconnect. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me take off this stage underscore employees completely from my. Okay, now let me re-import. Maybe the driver or something is wrong because the way you take them. Let me try to do. Hey, if you're already getting late, like you can disconnect. So if you have time, you can stay in class. Okay. Yeah. Whenever you feel like it's already late, so please disconnect. I'm trying to give a different driver. What is the host name? let's say I'm trying with a different driver. Perfect. So this is what the issue. The drivers, whatever we created, the connections are wrong. So did you get my point? What I did? See, earlier you created the drivers with the Oracle in Vora Home 92. Okay, so data direct Oracle wire protocol is the right one as a driver. So then only you are getting the accurate data types. So now it's up, let me create even for the source. So I have source and target. I am removing the old ones. Okay, now I have proper ones. Okay, anyway, I already took that, right, so let it be. So now I got a target stage underscore employees. Let's take that stage underscore employees now. Again, I'll do it a little quickly so that I hide it and date entered. We need to apply a logic because there is a date format in the target, but here you're having string format, so you need to convert this. So I'm just writing a logic here to make sure. Okay, sub str hire date 1 comma 18 or 10. So this is a function. Substr means substring. So whatever is there in the date, I'm taking from 1 to 10 characters from the hire date. Okay, once I took that, then I'm going to take to underscore date and I'm putting in the braces. Whatever the substr, I'm converting into mmddy format. Incompatible data types. Perfect. Why? Because you selected it as a string, but you are converting into a date. Now let's see. Successful. Any questions on this one? Even I have to do the same for this one as well. Same problem. Okay, just convert it into date and time. See, just earlier string converted date time, earlier string converted date time. How I am converting? Observe the syntax. First I am taking the substring. Okay, just I want first 10 characters. Why? Let's take an example. 01 01 19 or 2017. So how many values? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I would just want the date. If you want other format, just put HHMMYYY or SSS. Okay, so the different kind of a time formats, but right now I just want to take the date format. Apply. Okay, now
I have a doubt question. There
mhm,
is already a hire date and date entry
mhm,
and the expression transformation, right?
mhm.
So why we are creating another logic on that?
Higher date, whatever you are having is string here. From the source is coming as a string,
Okay.
but in your target is a date. The data type,
We can't change on that in expression transformation.
that's what I did, right? I changed an expression transformation only.
No, no, I'm saying we can directly change on that
Change on what?
port.
No, on the port
Hire
you cannot
date.
change. If you simply change on a port, it won't work.
Okay.
Okay, so there should be some kind of a function.
Okay.
Next, employee name, employee address, city, state, zip code, country, phone number, fax number, and email, gender, and age group, native language, secondary, third, position type, dealership, regional, dealership, and here whatever you created like hire date to hire date, date entered to date entered. Now see, try to change. Let's take Oracle tab. That's fine. Now run this. Okay, now it got succeed. Succeeded. Okay, sometimes like these are like a kind of a trial versions, right? So you might face this kind of conflicts. So 109 records in total. Okay, if you look at the data, if you look at the data, then you will see. Okay, so if you look at the data here, so can you see the salary? Where is the salary?
Employee salary.
Okay, so this is what the data you got from the lookup. The rest of the fields came from the flat fields. Any questions?
No.
Okay, great. So by this I'm stopping on the lookups, and tomorrow we are going to see some more concepts on the lookup transformation like a caches and everything, and unconnected lookups. There are so many things on lookups. Okay, I'm sorry, like, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so please continue with these queries, and let me know in case of any questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Thank you.
thank you then.
Yeah.
So have a good night.